I'm Father Sean McManus, President of the Capitol Hill-based Irish National Caucus in Washington, D.C., and the Chief Judge of the World Peace Prize. And this is our 11th social media video on England's undemocratic partition of Ireland and on our One Ireland petition. The One Ireland petition states, Ireland too has the right to be one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This splendid petition has now been signed by over 18,000 people. It is posted on change.org, on Facebook, and on irishnationalcaucus.org. I ask you, please, sign and share this splendid petition and promote it in every way you can. It is free and only takes a few minutes. It is very important and a very practical thing we can all do to show our love and solidarity for Ireland. Now remember, we are fast approaching the 100th anniversary of England's criminal and cruel partition of Ireland, enacted by the London Parliament with the assent of the King of England on December 23, 1920. Imagine such cruelty 2 days before Christmas. Imagine the racism and sectarianism. I have been proclaiming all my life that state-sponsored racism and sectarianism are the twin evils of this world. This is the truth which nobody can dispute. In the context of Ireland, racism means anti-Irish, and sectarianism means anti-Catholicism. Let me explain that, please. Beginning in 1169, England got a foothold on the island of Ireland. Now remember, up to the 1530s, England was a totally Catholic country. So before England's Reformation, England just used state-sponsored racism, hatred and contempt for the Irish as a method of oppression. But after the Reformation, England added the other extra layer of hatred and contempt, anti-Catholicism, in other words, sectarianism. Now, in 1920, when England was forced to accept it could no longer hold on to all of Ireland's 32 counties, it retreated to the northeast corner of Ireland, to just 1/6 of the island of Ireland. England then drew an arbitrary line and border around the 6 counties, a line that had never existed in Irish history, and with imperialistic and colonial hubris proclaimed this was a brand new country, a brand new entity, a new discovery, so to speak. What a fraud, what a gerrymander, what a total violation of Ireland's right to independence and international law. An utterly criminal and undemocratic act, especially if we remember that just 2 years earlier, Ireland had voted for national independence. The only thing that dictated this new line and this new border was a sectarian and racist headcount. England knew that in this artificial area there were 1 million pro-British people, anti-Irish, anti-Catholic people, to 500,000 Irish people. So they drew this line and hence was able to control that part of Ireland up until this very moment. But you know what? As Bob Dylan sang, the times they are a-changing. Please understand a number of things here. Number one, the large artificial majority of Protestant Unionists no longer exists. Number two, Scotland, the spiritual home of so many Protestants, itself now seems to be heading for independence. And number three, Brexit is dragging Northern Ireland out of the European Union, even though a majority of people in Northern Ireland voted to remain in the European Union. These 3 points change everything. So all that means that the One Ireland petition is perfectly timely, practical and meaningful. It calls for unity, not division, for solidarity, not segregation. It says no to racism and sectarianism, and it calls for the building up of the beloved community as taught by Martin Luther King Jr. in all of Ireland's 32 counties. One nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Justice and respect for Protestants, Catholics and dissenters, for people of all faith and no faith. Come and join us in this splendid cause. Please sign the petition, and thank you for watching. God save Ireland.